Hi everyone, I'm ilabasmati and today I'm going to talk about tropical modernism, Geoffrey Bawa. Well, uh, somehow he invents the Balinese architecture. Geoffrey Bawa, also known as Geoffrey Manen Bawa, is a um, architect born in British Ceylon on July 23, 1919. Geoffrey Bawa, 1919 2003, was 38 year old when he started working as an architect. He studied at the beginning English literature and after law. And he worked like a lawyer. Uh, but at 14, more or less, he began to study in Cambridge, I suppose, architecture, and it's a very incredible architecture. Well, it's a person with a culture, a big culture. Well, we good. Well, after initially study in law, he enrolled in the London Association of Architects. He born in Sri Lanka, his country. He bought a land and then tried to organize the garden and the house, because in Ceylon the tradition is the Portuguese and after Flemish from Netherlands, and after mix with Islam, the houses, and then try to organize a different culture that because it's the tradition of Ceylon, but he don't know how, and then he decided to study architecture in like architecture in England with 40 years. Well, his family is rich, not millionaire, but have a lot of money, because he traveled around the world and he fell in love with Italy. At the beginning, he wanted to buy in Italy land and has organized Italian garden and that. I'll continue. Well, he obtained the diploma in 1956. He then he has an incredible curriculum. He then worked for Edward Braid and Becks in Colombo, Sri Lanka, his country. In 1960, he opened his own studio with Ulrich Plesner, associated with whom he carried out various or several projects, such as the Silva bungalows. I have create my blog with this Silva bungalows and other different projects of this architect. The blog is now in internet. Well, 1962 in Sri Lanka. Well, his architecture, which triumphed in his homeland, is characterized by the skills, the exquisite attention in space to the landscape and vegetation. His brother is too an architect of the garden of landscape, very famous too. Well, the three pavilions of Buddhist temples of a small island in Beira Lake, Colombo, 1977, with the overflowing wooden construction and honey rough, present typical characteristics and materials very much in keeping with the country's tradition. He's a mix, a remix between European modernism and the tradition of Sri Lanka. Well, he's famous by tropic modernism. I don't know what's the name. Well, Geoffrey Bawa's deeply contemporary project incorporate both local building, like I explained before, Brazilian and colonial style. Like the building of the Room University in Madras, Sri Lanka, 1980, 1986, which are articulated in a chain of hills and integrate the landscape dim in multiple inner curtains. Also the Triton Hotel complex in Ahingala, Sri Lanka, 1979 and 1982, place with the immediate surrounding. Well, the location of the specifically defined by a super pond with palm trees. Well, the entrance door facilitate the views of the seas, and today it's very common, but when he created this project, no common, is original. And the swimming pool located behind the hotel through a lounge. Well, Geoffrey Bawa is one of the most famous architects in Sri Lanka. Of course, he has a lot of an incredible curriculum. His career made him the main representative of what is now known as a tropical modernism. Well, until tomorrow, thanks a lot for all for paying attention. Till tomorrow, see you. But tomorrow, Jason and the Argonauts, very interesting. See you tomorrow.